You know, Sean, after reaching top speed here at Atlanta Motorsports Park on the front straightaway, now you got to set up for turn one. First thing is really hard braking. It's the highest brake pressure you'll use on the track. And yeah, by the way, you can't see the entry or the apex.
And I think that's one of the best things that we have to talk about in racing is how to slow down a race car. Really trains that here because you have to be really good on that initial pressure, like you said, and be able to actually hold that pressure throughout the brake zone to get it down there. And then with the track falling away, then you got to deal with weight distribution and being able to trail off that brake nicely.
You know, the Herman Tilke track design, I mean, the guy's pretty clever with the way he hides apexes quite a bit. Now, in North Georgia here, we have a lot of elevation, which I love. It makes this track really special. But he's also very clever at the way he designs his tracks with the keeping the apexes out of view. This is very drastic here in turn one, but I'll tell you what, it's quite challenging and very rewarding when you get it right.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is it falls off and you kind of have to know and be able to use all your peripheral vision in order to have the right turn in. Not only the right turn in, but to be able to hit that same turn in every single time and make your laps consistent.
You know, we're at the one board right now. We can just start to see the actual turn. We really can't see the apex so much right now, but as we get closer to the end of the curb, it comes into view. And like what we're talking about earlier with the brake pressure, keeping, you know, you're trail braking into turn one, you're keeping some load on the front to keep that front tire grip there because it really falls away. And if you get off the brake too soon, you lose the front and get understeer. So keeping and managing that weight transfer and that balance is critical. You know, like I said earlier, you can't see anything, you can't see the apex on the entry. So there's a little bit of memory knowledge or muscle memory, as they say, to get down to the apex. The way the front end and the way the track drops away from you and you lose front grip going in, the braking, the initial braking obviously is the most important. Get the speed out of the car, high brake pressure, but also the way you have a nice smooth brake release. But in turn one, you got to carry it a little bit farther than usual just because the track's dropping away.
It's so light, I mean, coming from turning and just being able to still keep your rolling speed up just that little bit. That way you're not too slow coming off, but still being able to get the right angle and keep the nose in the right place to come over this crest and keep the front tires loaded.
I mean, if you think about it, come down the front straightaway, you're at top speed on Atlanta Motorsports Park. You're going to be into your hardest brake zone, highest brake pressure right here in turn one. So getting the car set up and getting the balance proper is the key.
And it really leads on to a little bit of a straightaway, even though there's a lift there, to be able to carry that speed, that extra couple miles an hour by hitting the line right, really pays dividends.
Absolutely, and I think speed's better all the time.
Yeah.